I always remember coming in the garage. My dad always kept his garage meticulously clean. You could eat off the floor. The cars were always pristine. And I would open the car door and the smell of the interior. It's uncanny that even to the date, whenever I open the door, I still have that sense of that smell from the interior of the car that just reminds me of being there with him and there in that garage. And it's amazing after all these years and even a different place and a different state, it still has that same smell. And that always just reminds me of him. The car as a memorial, I think, is the biggest thing for me. You know, it was difficult after he passed away to drive it and see it, you know, and I wish in retrospect we would have spent more time initially when we had it and driving it and enjoying it. It was an unfriendly reminder that he was sick and inevitably on his way out. So for me, I wish I could go back in time and change that for our process. So it took a while to grieve that, and then we came to grips with the loss and the grieving process, and we learned that, hey, this is a good thing, not a bad thing. Let's embrace it, let's love it, let's enjoy it, let's get in it, let's go, let's remember him, let's have him be a part of our memories. Like, you can watch us enjoy it from heaven, and you can watch our daughter smile and our wife smile and us laugh in it and enjoy our family together in it. So it was really an epiphany to turn something that was kind of emotionally difficult into something that was emotionally positive. So it's been an interesting tool for that process, going through him being sick and passing away, and us enjoying the car, you know, and now the enjoyment level of the car has increased substantially, and remembering who he was and what he was about and his love for the car has only really made us enjoy it more. This is my 1967 GTO. My father gave that to me about 6 years ago. He was diagnosed with early Alzheimer's and wasn't able to drive a car. He was an avid muscle car guy. He had this 67 GTO. He had a 68 Chevelle SS 396 convertible and a 69 Camaro. Loved them. They were his babies. This was his favorite, and so he gifted that to me when he was no longer able to drive them. So I had it for about 6 years. It's been at Ellington, Remington for those 6 years. It's been a special part of my family and my life. My dad was always a GTO guy. He got one when he got back from serving in the Army after Vietnam, and he'd always wanted one and wanted one and wanted one, and just never could find the money or the time or the right one. And it just finally got down to it, just said, you gotta just bite the bullet and just get it. Like, you know, just spend the money and do it, and can't take it with you, and I don't need it. I'll make my own money, just do for you what you wanna do. And you know, one day he came home, he's like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get one. He found one. They were going to car shows. They were kind of stalking different places to find them, and they found the one that he loved, and this was it. He bought it and came home with it. It was just a smile on my face, more for him than me, you know, just to see him beaming and so excited to have purchased it, and kind of found back with his roots of what he loved from the muscle car era. So it was fun to watch him kind of be a kid again. This is a 67, so it would be the last year of the first generation of GTOs. This car has a couple different styling changes, a couple different engine changes from the 66 being the kind of the spearhead. The engine itself in 67 was kind of upgraded. They went from a 389, they bored it 4.12 inches to a 400. They offered 3 different engines within that same product offering, an economy, a standard, and a high output. This is the high output. The standard was a tri-power. They moved to a 4-barrel on this. This is a 4-barrel, so it's got the Rochester Quadrajet. They switched to that, so again, pushing about 360 horsepower. Some slight styling changes from the 66 to the 67s. You see the front end has the quintessential Pontiac stacked headlights. The split grille was a true split grille in 67. They offered a little bit of chrome. They switched to some plastic offerings on that. Minor cosmetic changes on the outside. They moved the badging to the rocker panels from the fenders. The rear tail lights, they went from a louver style to a 4 side-by-side stack, which was new for 67. The interior was pretty similar to the 66. It had the walnut inlays that was new for the GTO model itself outside of Le Mans, so all of the interior dashboard and inserts of the console were all walnut lined. Steering column was pretty similar. They had some safety upgrades, non-collapsible steering column. They had an impact rated steering wheel. They moved some of the dashboard around, so there wasn't anything protruding. This car has a garnet gold exterior metallic color paint, and the interior was a gold option as well. They opted for the rally cluster gauges, which was an option, which gave the tachometer and speedometer more visibility in the dash. This car has a vacuum pressure gauge that was a dealer installed option as well. Air conditioning was also as an option in this car. They had that. It does have normal lap belt, seat belt. 67 did offer the actual shoulder belt as an option, but this car did not have that. 1967 saw about 85,000 cars being built approximately. This is the hardtop version of that car, which was the sport coupe version of this car, which were much more limited in production. So there were a bunch of these cars that were put out, but to date there's not a lot that are still in this great of condition.
So, this car's been a big part of my life, and it was a big part of Pop-Pop's. My mom and Pop-Pop gave it to me, and Mom and I will give it to you, and one day you can give it to your children and their children, and this car can become Pop-Pop's legacy. And I look forward to teaching you how to drive it, and looking over and watch you smile and have fun with it just like I do.
The goal is it's in my will to give to my daughter. We have one daughter, she'll take it. It'll be a stipulation that it'd be in her will that she's got to give it to her kids. So generationally, it's just going to keep getting passed down. So that's the goal. I just can't wait to see her behind the wheel. So we have pictures of her sitting in the cars before my parents gave it to me. But it's fun just to watch her be in it and enjoy it and tell her the stories and talk to her about her granddad and do those fun things with her as a family. And she just got her learner's permit in the beginning of January. So she's been all, let's drive, let's drive, let's drive. So it'll be fun to watch her going on. She's gonna have to learn how to drive it. She's gonna end up driving it and getting it one day. So she's gonna need to learn how to drive it.
Thank you.